So you've gotten into motivational speaking now. Tell me how that started and what have been some highlights for you.
Shoot, I was a sophomore at Kent. I had a really good freshman year. And I was, I was your typical Kent State wrestler, partying and going to class and study table. So I was in architecture, and then the athletic director pulled me out, take me to his office, set a stack of papers down in front of me, and I thought I was getting kicked out of school on the most realist thing, because on that weekend before, the cops just got called to our wrestling house.
Okay.
Because it was just way too wild. And then our coach found out, and it was a big ordeal that was going on that week. Mm-hmm. So then to get called to the office and have a stack of papers in front of me, I was just sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he told me to open it, and it turns out all these Syrian kids had wrote me these letters, and they were in a really small school in Akron, actually. A makeshift school. They were refugees that were sent out here. Yeah, it was during that time a couple years ago. And they had watched my documentary, got really inspired. I was in college. The documentary was out at that point. But I was really just I don't know, I'm in college. I was trying to win still, focused on what I got to do, waking up at 5 a.m., going to practice.
You're a student athlete.
Yeah. Doing all this, doing that, living the life.
Yeah.
And it just kind of brought me back down to earth real quick. I was kind of on my high horse, and it really humbled me. Just to realize, understand what these kids were going through. Their parents had sent them over to the United States just so they'd escape the war, so they'd have a chance to live. And it was when stuff like that's going on, it puts things in real perspective.
Yeah. So
then I asked them what I could do, and to do for these kids. I've never even spoke before, and at that time I was failing public speaking. For real, I didn't even know. I'm thinking in the back of my head, what the hell are you doing, dude? Why are you asking to speak to these kids? You're failing the same class of something you want to do. But I was just adamant. I was what can I do? Can I go give them shirts? Can I take some of my scholarship money? Maybe help so Kent State can make them something. I was thinking of anything I could do. Because I might have had all the success, I was still broke.
But we didn't have NIL. Or maybe did you? To where you could make money.
Oh, no. That was a year after I was going.
Saying.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how much money I could have made being at Kent State? Oh my God, I was so lit when I was there.
Yeah.
You logged into the student portal, and my face was the first thing you saw with my headgear on, just mossing some cat.
Yeah.
And it was there 2 years straight. They had shirts. Clark, $125. That you could get in the school store. I never saw a dime. I was so upset. I was this is so stupid.
We need,
and I still got a shirt too.
We need NIL reimbursements for when we were in college.
Yeah, I know. Listen, make that a thing. I'm rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to start a campaign?
Yeah, I know. But
so anyway, sorry.
It was just everything that was going on. I was an athlete. I ended up getting BSN Sports out in Ohio. The athletic
TV,
they athletic director reached out to them, told them what was going on, and it kind of helped out. I was the newly recent dude on Netflix. I was blowing up across the world, so they were we got this guy, and they're oh. So then boom, got them all shirts. This little girl made a design, and it said "Be a Zion," but it was her drawing with the Kent State colors.
Yeah, that's dope.
A little eagle, kid eagle that she drew. Yeah, so I it really. I was this is awesome.
Yeah. Then you spoke to them after.
Yeah, I did a surprise visit. Cool. Now it ended up getting recorded by Fox 8 News and all this other stuff. I didn't know that was happening. I was literally purely excited to see these kids, and I peeked around the corner. I was yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah. So how do you go about? Did you have a speech ready, or is this just something where you
I wanted to tell those kids thank you for writing me letters. That's literally why I was there.
I heard you talk about in another interview that you're okay, I'm different, but this is all I've ever known, and you don't make excuses. But there are so many people, and myself being one of them, I make excuses or feel bad for myself or do it all the time. So how like who instilled that in you to really kind of believe in yourself and really go after anything that you wanted? Was that just you?
That was Percy McGee, the assistant wrestling coach at Massillon at the time, because he was terrifying. I remember this man wouldn't let us leave the wrestling room one night. The parents are outside, wouldn't let us leave because we weren't like getting the time sprints right. So we were just sprinting. We had to get down and back across the wrestling room in 5 seconds. Yeah. Or we had to keep going. Yeah. And if the heavyweight didn't make it, remember,
we have one person in the team doesn't make it. It's the same with basketball.
Yeah. And the heavyweight, he's the biggest, slowest guy on the team, 285 pounds. Down and back, 5 seconds. But like, listen, he got that done. He had this one push, dude was flying, floating, and we all got to go home. Yeah. But like, it's brutal. Like, wrestling is brutal. Like, you would think, like, if you are, like, you should, like, you got kids, you have youth kids that are like crying in practice because like they got dropped, and then the coach is just screaming at them. Yeah. Because like wrestling, if you're in a match if you're at the college national championships, you're in a match and you get upset, the other guy's just gonna beat you even more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta instill that toughness so early on. So like, sometimes it's tough watching these kids cry, but I'm like, get up, you're fine.
So that seems to be the coaching style that like pushes your buttons, because that was the same.
Yeah, no, like he'd really be like on me every time like I was making some sort of mistake, and like he meant well. Like, shoot, I just saw him last time I went back home a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And like he always pushed me like to that next level. I remember the day it was sectionals, the sectional championships to get to districts. And I had lost my semifinal match. And he took me and my boy Kyle, who had also lost his semifinal match, and our boy Noah, who also lost his semifinal match, all into the locker room and like slammed each one of us on the locker and like told us, like, if you don't get this job done, we've been together, we've been working all of it, because like I've known him and like the Donahues and all of them for a long time. He's like, if you guys don't come through on this, don't ever talk to me. And I was like, yeah, no, it was scary. Yeah. It was terrifying. Like, me and my boys were looking at each other like, like we should go out there and wrestle. You know?
We should get this done.
And then we all won and we all made it to districts.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I have a story that I've told multiple times, but I feel like it was really kind of a turning point in my life. So I was a freshman who played on varsity, and I played a significant amount of minutes. I started some games, and we were a really good team. Barberton girls basketball, we were good when I was there. But my coaches were really, really tough on me, and like the girls bullied me, and I was like crying. Like, I'd leave practice pretty much every night in tears and like upset because they were so tough on me. I'd miss a shot and I would get reamed out. Another girl would miss a shot and they were like, you know, whatever. And so I scheduled a meeting with my coaches, and I was like, you know, I'm just like having a hard time. Like, you guys are really like tough on me. It seems unfair, this and that. And my coaches, like, they looked me straight in the eye and they said, well, Rachel, you can get thick skin or we can put you on JV. Like, just let us know what you want to do.
Oh my God. I was like, you're ruthless.
Right. But it was at that moment that I was like, okay, I just have to toughen up.
Yeah, because you just gotta do the job.
Right. I was the only freshman playing on varsity. Like, and they were hard on me because they knew there was more in me that I could give. You know, they really believed in me. And so they took that route. Yeah. Do you feel underestimated when you go out on the mat against your opponents?
No, not anymore. I used to, because cats didn't used to like really know me yet. But I started making waves throughout the world in sport of wrestling and martial arts. Now, I walk up to somebody, if we're about to go, they really try to rip my head off, because if they don't, I'm going to do it to them. Yeah. And that's just like, that's that mentality of, listen, I'm here now, and you're like, whether you want me to be here or not, I'm here, you know, and either you knock for your buck.
Is that your life motto? Like, what is your life motto?
Well, my life motto is no excuses.
Okay.
You know, I live that to the fullest, but at the same time, I really love to fight, and I really enjoy wrestling. Yeah. And I'm pretty decent at both. Yeah. You know, so
I would say so.
It's like no excuses, but that mentality is what keeps me driving. When I'm fighting, I get punched in the face, I smile. When I'm getting choked out, I relax. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that's what you need to do. You know, and sometimes when you're getting choked out, if you relax, it's easier to get away than if you're fighting. Most holds in MMA, the more you try to resist, the tighter things are gonna get.
Do you know it's actually a trick for your brain? Like you said, when you get punched in the face, you smile. So you know how there are some times when you get hurt, I don't know if this applies to you, but it applies to me, where I laugh and I don't understand why I'm laughing. But it's actually a good thing because then your brain doesn't associate the pain with like such a negative emotion.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I associate pain with anger, but that's like, you gotta learn how to control it.
But if
and use it.
Wouldn't that be hilarious though? You get punched in the face, you start laughing.
No, I've sometimes there have been times where I've been like, bam, I'm like, ha, like because it hurt.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, nice shot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you your kudos and I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, and then we're gonna just keep this thing going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's fighting.
So what's on the horizon for you? What's next? What are your goals right now?
One of my main focuses is this fight.
Okay.
October 29th. Been like just really dialing in, getting my getting my technique down. It was like when it comes to a fight, you gotta be ready. Like people like there's only so many different things you can do to defend a certain move, but you gotta learn all those things.
Right.
So you can be ready if someone decides to counter one way, you can attack a different way. If they counter that, go to the third way. And if you don't get that, go back to the first one. Right? You have an idea that you could possibly work, do it.
Yeah, it's a playbook in a sense, but it's like a reactive playbook. You know, you have all these things in your arsenal, but you need to know you don't know what's going to come at you.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready with everything that you got. But
no, it's awesome. Fighting is definitely something I see myself doing for the next 10 years or so.
That's so.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Rachel DeMita. Thank you so much for watching Courtside Club. Make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcasts. We have new episodes coming to you guys every single week, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon.